by which we do good material works as well as spiritual works. And so whatever your line is, whatever your business is, whatever your occupation is, realize that if you can be alone with God, you will receive inspiration to make you a better whatever you are, in whatever field of endeavor you find yourself. And greatest of all, if you want to help others, get the inspiration of God. Be alone with Him. Then you can truly help them spiritually. For as one great yogi, Indian yogi said, the great Guru Nanak, even if you're known throughout all the universes, and then some even, and the glance of His grace does not fall upon you, you are unknown. And so if you want to help people, if you want to do some real good in the world, know God alone, be alone with Him, receive the inspiration of His great love and joy and bliss, then you can help others in a real way. So, alone with God is necessary that we realize the truth of existence. This idea of what goes on in this world which we see about us, I think we all have reached a point when we understand where we understand it is not truth. It can't be. There's too much of a great big mess in the world, isn't it? It is not truth, but the truth is underlying that. And if you are alone with God, you will realize the underlying truth, which is, and let us remember this one thing this morning, the immortal nature of our own consciousness. Do you realize that? You close your eyes. Just forget the body just a minute. There you are conscious. And I'm sure right at this time there's not too much bothering you as far as thoughts and so forth. You are conscious. That consciousness is God the Father in you. It's immortal. But how difficult it is to break it away from its many attachments to the body and to the mind and even to the soul. That consciousness is immortal. And if you can reach the state in your meditations where that consciousness is not infused with any other movement, that's absolute consciousness, that's God the Father's presence within you. Our Master has said that when He said, there is no question of a doubt, but bliss consciousness is God consciousness. Bliss consciousness which you feel right at this moment if you look within. Because by our united hearts and minds we are imploring the presence of God to manifest through us. You will feel bliss. That's God. But you have to make it dynamic to your being. You have to make it a reality, that's all. And how to do it? Be alone with God. And by being alone with Him, you imbibe His omnipresent nature. Whatever He is, you will be, because it is He, cosmic consciousness, which has come down and is our own human consciousness, is the life energy within us, is this very bodily vehicle. God the Father, cosmic consciousness, is our own existence. We must make it dynamic to our being. Now, all great men found it necessary to be alone with God. I'm not going to take the time to give you any specific instances because we have a few announcements at the end of this talk. But just to say that Washington, you know the father of our country. You are familiar with history. He was a man of prayer and was alone with God. Otherwise, he couldn't have done what he did do. Lincoln was the same way. Lincoln, with his great problems of state, was alone with God, spent a lot of time in prayer. Moses was alone with God when he went up into the mountain and saw the burning bush of spirit, the presence of God, manifested externally to him, he came back changed. Those of you who have seen the picture, the Ten Commandments, you saw in Moses' face a change. Why? Because he had been alone with God. And Jesus was alone with God. Many times, you read in the Scripture, he went into the garden to pray, to be alone with God, that he could carry out his particular part in the play, the drama of life. As he said, it is so written. It is God's will. And I'm sure each and every one of us want to do God's will, whatever it is. Whatever our position in life is and whatever we have to do, whether it be great or small. If we do it as God's will, we are just as successful as the most successful person in this world of ours. More so. Because success, even though failure in this world means that you know God and that you have been alone with Him until you realize your oneness with Him. Alone with God. Realize all great men did that. And our Master also was alone with God. I have just a portion of a letter I'd like to read to show you that He too realized the importance of being alone with God. He said, "It will please, and it shall please me most." I'm reading this for two reasons: to show you His great love for you and for me, and also the necessity of being alone with God. "And it shall please me most to see you all here and in India, all fixed when I go." Isn't that beautiful? That each and every one of us would be fixed in our various and necessary ways when He left these shores. "I came with nothing, and will take nothing from India or America when I go. I only came with God, and with Him I will go, and wait for you all, to welcome there, where there will be no condition to our happiness or existence. God is most wonderful. He loves us so silently and wonderfully and through His devotee." And so you see the Master realized the importance